Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Python course for beginners, and if you are a beginner or you want to switch to data engineering role or you have a plan to switch to a better company, then you have landed at a correct page. And if you like the video, then do subscribe, like and share my video. That gives me motivation to keep creating this kind of videos. So yeah, let's start.
दिस इज लेक्चर 3 और इस लेक्चर में हम लिस्ट के बारे में पढ़ेंगे एंड देन उसके बाद एक इजी लेवल प्रॉब्लम लीड कोड का सॉल्व करेंगे। ठीक है, इसके पहले हमने लेक्चर 1 में क्या देखा था, प्रिंट कैसे करते हैं, वेरिएबल कैसे डिक्लेयर करते हैं, डेटा टाइप्स क्या होते हैं, कमेंट, सिंगल लाइन, मल्टी लाइन कमेंट क्या है, उनका पर्पस क्या है, इनपुट कैसे लेना है, आउटपुट कैसे डिक्लेयर करना है। फिर एक बेसिक क्वेश्चन हमने सॉल्व किया था उसके ऊपर में, एंड देन उसके बाद लेक्चर 2 में हमने देखा था लूप्स, फॉर एंड व्हाइल लूप, देन कंडीशनल स्टेटमेंट, इफ एल्स, देन स्ट्रिंग के बारे में हमने पढ़ा था, फंक्शन क्या होता है, कैसे डिफाइन और कैसे डिक्लेयर एंड कैसे कॉल करते हैं। देन उसके बाद स्ट्रिंग के ऊपर हमने एक लीड कोड का एक प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व किया था। ठीक है, आई होप कि जो लेक्चर में जो भी टॉपिक होता है, लाइक आई सेड कि आपको लीड कोड पे जा करके अपना एक अकाउंट बनाना है। ठीक है, और उस अकाउंट पे जैसे हमने लास्ट लेक्चर में बेसिक्स पढ़ा या फिर हमने स्ट्रिंग देखा, ठीक है, तो बेस्ड ऑन दैट यू कैन स्टार्ट सॉल्विंग इजी लेवल प्रॉब्लम। अगर आप सिर्फ वीडियो देखते रहोगे देन इट इज नॉट गोइंग टू हेल्प यू। आपको लीड कोड पे जाकर के अपना अकाउंट बना करके आपको स्टार्ट करना ही पड़ेगा प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करना। ठीक है, सो अगर आपने नहीं स्टार्ट किया है सो यू कैन गो अहेड, क्रिएट योर अकाउंट over LEETCODE and then you can start solving problem related to string। ठीक है, at least easy level। and then उसके बाद हम लिस्ट पे आज करेंगे, देखेंगे लिस्ट क्या होता है, बेसिक फंक्शंस क्या है, स्लाइसिंग क्या होती है उसमें। ठीक है, उसके बाद एक प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करेंगे LEETCODE का, एंड देन यू कैन गो अहेड एंड स्टार्ट सॉल्विंग इजी लेवल प्रॉब्लम ऑन लिस्ट ऑल्सो। ठीक है, चलो फिर लेट्स स्टार्ट। ठीक है, जैसे कि मैंने पहले वीडियो में कहा है कि अगर आप बिगिनर हो देन यू डोंट नीड टू इंस्टॉल आईडी, क्योंकि मोस्ट ऑफ द प्रॉब्लम और प्रैक्टिस यू कैन कम हियर ओवर पाइथन ऑनलाइन कंपाइलर। आप जाकर गूगल पे सर्च करोगे पाइथन ऑनलाइन कंपाइलर, देन यू विल गेट दिस पेज इजिली एंड यू कैन कम हियर एंड प्रैक्टिस योर लाइक कोड हियर। अगर आपको एडिटर आईडी चाहिए देन यू कैन गो अहेड एंड लुक फॉर हाउ टू डाउनलोड एंड इंस्टॉल। बहुत सारे वीडियोस और बहुत सारे रिसोर्स आपको मिल जाएंगे जो आपको स्टेप बाय स्टेप गाइड बताएंगे कि कैसे आपको इंस्टॉल एंड डाउनलोड करना है। ठीक है, तो आप वो भी कर सकते हो या फिर नहीं करना आपको तो यहाँ भी कर सकते हो, बट LEETCODE पे अकाउंट बना करके यू हैव टू स्टार्ट प्रैक्टिसिंग। ठीक है, चलो अभी देखते हैं हम क्या देखेंगे, लिस्ट देखेंगे। ठीक है, आई होप कि आपको स्ट्रिंग का बेसिक पता हो। अगर आप पहली बार इस लेक्चर पे इस चैनल पे आए हो देन आई वुड सजेस्ट गो बैक एंड वॉच स्ट्रिंग का वीडियो सो दैट आपको थोड़ा सा आइडिया मिल जाए स्ट्रिंग क्या है। क्योंकि अगर आपको स्ट्रिंग अच्छे से पता है और स्ट्रिंग का बेसिक फंक्शंस, स्ट्रिंग का स्लाइसिंग अगर आपको अच्छे से पता है देन लिस्ट में हम बहुत सारे चीज है जो उधर से रेफर करेंगे, पॉइंटर्स होगा वहां पे, कंपैरिजन होगा, सो आपको बहुत ईजी जाएगा अगर आप देखकर आओगे स्ट्रिंग के बारे में। ठीक है, सो लिस्ट बेसिकली क्या होता है, हमने सबसे पहले तो स्ट्रिंग देखा था। स्ट्रिंग कैसे होता है, फॉर एग्जांपल स्ट्रिंग में कोट्स के अंदर हम लिख सकते हैं दिस इज माय थर्ड लेक्चर। ओके, ठीक है, लिस्ट क्या होता है, अगर मान लो ये जो स्ट्रिंग है इसको हमें लिस्ट में बनाना है। ठीक है, तो ये लिस्ट कैसे होगा, लिस्ट कैसे डिक्लेयर करते हैं हम, सबसे पहले स्क्वायर ब्रैकेट एंड ईच एंड एवरी वर्ड विल बी विद इन कोट्स एंड सेपरेटेड बाय कॉमा। ठीक है, कैसे देखो, दिस कॉमा इज कॉमा माय कॉमा थर्ड, ओके, कॉमा ओके। ठीक है, अब हम इसको एक बार इनका डिस्क का डेटा टाइप देख लेते हैं। ठीक है, डेटा टाइप कैसे देखते थे, टाइप फंक्शन होता है डेटा टाइप को चेक करने के लिए किसी भी वेरिएबल का। ठीक है, सो यहाँ पे एस मेरा एक वेरिएबल है, इसका टाइप देखते हैं एंड देन मेरा लिस्ट का एक बार देख लेते हैं। ठीक है, लिस्ट का भी डेटा टाइप देख लेते हैं। अब इसको हम रन करेंगे तो क्या दिखेगा, देखो फर्स्ट वाला जो है दैट इज ऑफ क्लास स्ट्रिंग एंड सेकेंड वाला एल जो है दैट इज ऑफ क्लास लिस्ट। क्या डिफरेंस है? हाउ वी डिक्लेयर इट। ठीक है, अब ये रहा एक डिफरेंस डिक्लेरेशन में। सेकेंड डिफरेंस ऐसा है कि अगर आप स्ट्रिंग में फॉर एग्जाम्पल अगर आप यहाँ भी हम ऐसे 3 डाल सकते हैं। सो लिस्ट का मतलब ये होता है कि लिस्ट कैन बी अ कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ एनी काइंड। ओके, ठीक है, यहाँ पे ऐसा नहीं है कि हम यहाँ पे सारे स्ट्रिंग डाल रहे हैं तो जो भी एलिमेंट ईच एंड एवरी एलिमेंट नीड्स टू बी इन स्ट्रिंग। नो, इट इज नॉट रिक्वायर्ड। इफ आई हैव लाइक integer, I can add integer. If I have for example float, I can add float also. Okay, now let's run it. See, still I am getting no error. Okay, so लिस्ट अगर आप जैसे जैसे आगे बढ़ोगे और ऐसे ऐसे आप अगर प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करना स्टार्ट करोगे देन यू विल सी कि लिस्ट का कितना इंपॉर्टेंस होता है। आपको ईच एंड एवरी प्रॉब्लम में एटलीस्ट यू विल गेट अ लिस्ट प्रॉब्लम फॉर श्योर। ठीक है, तो लिस्ट तो आपको अच्छे से समझ लेना है। तो ये तो पहली बात आपको ये समझ लेना है कि जो लिस्ट होता है दैट इज अ कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ एनी काइंड। सो उसमें आप स्ट्रिंग भी डाल दो, इंटीजर भी डाल दो, फ्लोट भी डाल दो, इट डज नॉट मैटर। ठीक है, इट विल वर्क, इट वोंट फेल। ठीक है, नाउ सेकेंड आते हैं कि अगर आपको याद होगा स्लाइसिंग ऑफ स्ट्रिंग। ठीक है, फॉर एग्जाम्पल एस इज देयर एंड आई वॉन्ट टू हैव अ सब स्ट्रिंग। ठीक है, सब स्ट्रिंग ऑफ एस। ठीक है, what is that? Starting from, I just want to have this thing like starting from this to this. Okay, 0 to 0 1 2 3, like last index is not included in list also. I will show you how. See, now if I want to print this, okay, and for example similarly अब स्ट्रिंग का अगर हम कोई स्मॉल पार्ट लेते हैं, ठीक है, स्ट्रिंग को अगर ब्रेक करते हैं और उसका स्मॉल पार्ट लेते हैं दैट इज कॉल्ड एज सब स्ट्रिंग। ठीक है, बट अगर लिस्ट का कोई स्मॉल पार्ट लेते हैं, हम उसका पार्ट लेते हैं तो क्या बोलेंगे उसको हम बोलते हैं सब लिस्ट। ठीक है, तो सब लिस्ट फॉर एग्जाम्पल ऑफ एल। ओके, अगेन वी विल declaration is same for both. Here we can see the similarity how we can do the slicing in string and how we can do the slicing in list. Both are same. Okay, 0 to 4. Let's see what's happening. Okay, now print this. See what will happen now. Okay, see, print as class is string, print type of L, class list. Okay, now substring 0 to 4. What is 0? 0 is index. Okay, so 0th index is T, 1 is H, 2 is I, third is S, and fourth, like I said, last index is not included, it is excluded. Okay, so now I am getting here this. But if we see the same in the list, how it is working? So in list the index is not character. Okay, it is a position of each and every element separated by comma. Okay, so as we can see for list, my 0th is this, my first position is, my third position is my, and my fourth position is 3. Okay, here also if we see it is not included, 0 1 2 3, last index is not included. So in slicing we have to remember that first index is included but last index is not included. Okay, so declaration is same for list and string but meaning is different. Okay, so that is the difference between slicing. And also if we see in both, negative index also works. Like how? Let's see. -1. Okay, suppose -2, till -2. Okay, and then here also till -2. Let's see. Okay, make it S1 L1. Okay, see. Now, oh, okay, we have to print. Just a second. Okay. Now see what is happening. This is to first two prints class. Okay. Now this is my substring. This. Okay. This is my sublist L. Okay. Now what is this? This is -2. What is -2? This is -1 and this is -2. Okay, and there is a space. Sorry, there is a space actually. This is a mistake from our end. Okay, so there is a space. So let me just remove the space and then run it. Okay, and make it like -3 because it is same. So no difference. Okay, and make it -3. Okay, now let's see. Okay, first two prints like class of a string, class of list, then this for sublist of S. Okay, for sublist of L, we are getting this 0 to 4th index, 0 to 3rd index, 4th not included, and then after that substring of S1 0 to -3. See, now this is my third L. L is this. See, till here we have printed that is coming as -3. Okay, so this is -1, -2, -3, and like we know that last index is not included. So similarly for this also, this is mine. Okay, so far I think you have understood how slicing is similar in both string and list and how the declaration difference is there, and list is a combination of multiple data types. It can be of same like we have seen, and it can be of combination of multiple. Okay, and now moving ahead. So after that, let me clear this, and then after that we can move ahead and see like what are the basic functionalities are present in list. Okay, now we will not see like in and if we see and do the comparison of basic functions in string and list, some of them are like very similar, like index. For example, if you want to know the index of any position of any character in string, we can use index and we will get to know. And in list also it works in the same way. For example, this is my list. Okay, we make it L2 and let me just make all of this as multi-line comment. Okay, I hope you remember. Okay, this is multi-line comment. Okay, this is my list. Okay, print my L2. So now only this is I am getting. Okay, this is my lecture. Remove this 1.1. It does not make any sense. This is my third lecture. Okay, now what I want to show that, for example, we want to know the length of my list. What is the length of my list? Each time I cannot go and count each and every element of my list. It might happen that there is a lot more element in list. Okay, so how do we know the length of my list? It is similar to a string. For example, length, length, length of my, how we have to use this len function and it will give us the length of my list. It is similar to string. In string also we used to Alice not defined. What is it? Oh yeah. Okay. So in string also we used to get the length of the string using len, and here also len works. Okay, now I want to show you the index, like how to fetch the index of any element. Okay, so for example, idx. Okay, now L2 dot index of, for example, I want to know what is the index of 3. Okay, in my entire list. Okay, idx, what we will get? See, 3. 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, now let me take the index of y. What is the index of my, probably? Okay, see, index of my is 2, 0, 1, 2. Okay, so this is how we will get the index. And for example, if we put something like that is not present, let's see, error, that mice is not in the list. Okay, so if we want to get the index of any element of my list, then we can use this index function, and it is similar to string. Okay, now this is about index. How do I count? Okay, for example, I want to count. Okay, I want to know how many times this character is being repeated in my entire list. For example, if I want to see, like, count is. Okay, print CMT. Let's see. 1. Okay, so there is a one occurrence of is in my entire string. For example, if I make it like, one more is. Okay, so now I'm getting a count as 2. Okay, for example, if I add one more is. Okay, so 3. So this count character is this count function, basically not character, I'm so sorry. So this count function is used to count the element, number of occurrence of element in my list. Okay, so this len is giving me the total number of element I have in my list, and this index is giving the position of an element in a list, and this is count, which is giving me the number of occurrence of an element in my list. So we can see and solve a problem. For example, we have, let me just comment it out for you guys. Okay, so now for example, clear it all. What is the purpose and how we can utilize all these things? Okay, so for example, I have a list, okay, where I have few elements, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, now if I want to know the duplicate, like if there is any duplicate in my list or not, how would I do that? So by looking at it, we can see, okay, 2 is a duplicate present in my list. But if I have to write down a code to write a function, or maybe make it simpler, write a code to find a duplicate, okay, in my list, in list L. Okay, how do we do it? So we have a list. Now what we can do, we just want to know the element which has a count, that is the number of occurrence of element. If it is greater than 1, that means there is a duplicate of that element present in my list, right? You getting my point? Okay, so what I have to do, what we will do basically, how we can iterate over each element of a list, okay, using loop, for loop. So for I in list, okay, what is I in list? If I see here, print I, okay, print I. What is I here? I is for loop. अगर आपने नहीं देखा है, then you have to go back to lecture 2, and there you can get a knowledge on for loop. Try to understand it, try to solve some problem based on that, and then come back if you don't know for loop at all. Okay, see what is happening, it is printing each and every element of the list. Okay, now what I have to do, we can use this if else condition. Okay, so if L dot count, okay, if L dot count of I, okay, if count of I is greater than 1, then what we have to do, we have to print that and have to come out of that loop. Okay, ठीक है, so we have to find, basically we have to find the duplicate. So if count of any element is greater than 1, then what we have to do, we have to print found duplicate element. Okay, and which is I. Okay, and then come out of it, break. After that, we will print loop end. Okay, now let's print it. See, we found the duplicate element 2 and loop end. Okay, similarly, if we have 3, see what happened is still, even though if we are having 2 duplicates, like 2 is also duplicate and 3 is also twice, so there are 2 duplicates, but still my code is like, what it is doing, it is printing only 2. Why? Because we have given this break statement. What this break statement does, as soon as this statement has been executed and it came here, as soon as it will get this break statement, it will come out of a loop. Okay, so it is coming out of a loop and printing this, so it is not going ahead for the next element. For example, in the very first iteration, what is happening, my I is 1. Okay, so it is checking if count of I is greater than 1. No, so nothing is being executed and it is going up. Okay, again to 2. Now it is checking, yes, the count of 2 is greater than 1 because it is 2, right? There are 2. So it will come inside and it has printed this, and then it get break statement. So it just come out of a loop, okay, and print this. Okay, now if I want to get all duplicates in my code, what I will do, okay, so to do that, what you can do, there can be like multiple ways to solve a problem, right? So I just want to make you understand like how to approach a problem, okay, but this might not be a very good way. There might be a more optimized way to write this logic, okay, but just for to make you understand like how to approach a problem, now it is saying to find all duplicate in list L. Okay, so how would we find all the duplicate in a list? So what we can do, we can create one more list. How we can create a one more list? Blank list, like the list we are creating, but the list won't have any element in that. See, it is like empty list. Okay, so empty list we will create and which will track the duplicate elements. Okay, so now if L dot count of I is greater than 1, then what will happen? Found duplicate element I, okay, it will get printed, but I do not want to break it because now I want it to proceed further even though it gets a duplicate and look for any other duplicate if exists. Okay, so break statement we cannot put. What we can do after printing this, what we can do, we can go ahead and we can do dot append I. Okay, so append is another function here. What append does? Okay, so what append does? Basically, it adds the element at the end of a list. For example, yeah, so we will see how it works. For example, we can say that how append works. So just to show you, I will just comment this, all these things will come back again here. Okay, so how appends work basically? So basically if we have this element, okay, now what I want to do, I want to L dot append. I want to append one more element in my L, in my list, that is 10. Okay, see what happens. print. Now if I print L, okay, see, okay, that is, oh, I'm so sorry about that. Is 4, okay. See, now 10 has been appended at the end. I didn't tell it like, to where to exactly add this 10. So this append function, what it does, it just simply go and add whatever element you are giving at the end. Okay. Now after printing this, okay, let me put this addition of 10. Okay. Or maybe just simply what function we are operating. Append. Okay. Append, comma, okay. Okay, now what we can see here, after that, one more function, multiple functions are there. Like I said, to see what are the built-in functions for any type is present, you can go to Google, you can go to W3 School, Gigs for Gigs, everywhere there is so much resources available on these things. So you can just go ahead and do the Google what are the built-in functions for list, you will get a list of functions. Okay, so now one is append, and we have seen multiple like index, count, append. Now for example, I want this 10, okay, to be inserted 10 or maybe 11. I just want one more element to get added 11, but not at the end. It must be at the beginning, okay? How would we do that? So L dot insert, okay? Insert what position? At what position? I want it to be inserted at 0th position. What element I want to be I want to insert, okay, I want to insert 11. Okay, now let me print this. Instead of this I want to print this insert. Let's see my 11th. Now what insert does, it did not insert this 11 at the end, it has inserted at the beginning because I have given 0. If I gave it here like make it after 2, 0, 1, 2, make it at third position. See what it does, it is putting it at third position. Okay, so yeah, so insert, and similarly there are multiple more functions like pop is there. For example, I just want to pop an element. Yeah, so pop is used to pop the element, like name is suggesting. If I want to pop an element, it can be popped. Okay, so for example, I want to pop an element L dot pop. Okay, now if I print this pop, okay, what will happen? See, now it has removed 10 from here. Why 10? Because append, what append does? It added at the end. What pop does? It removed from the end. Okay? And suppose if I want to give some position in pop, for example, if I, instead of like 10, if I would have given remove like this maybe this 0, 1, 2, 3, third position element. Okay, then see, now it has removed 11 from here because I have given a position of it. Okay, so this is how pop works. Okay, now if we go ahead and see like how this there is one more function related to it, that is a remove element. Okay, so L dot remove. Suppose I want to remove an element. For example, I want to remove the second element from my list. Then how it works? It has removed the first occurrence of my element. For example, I have given 2, so it has removed the first. Previously we have double 2, but now it has removed the first occurrence of that element. Okay, so remove will remove only one element and the first occurrence of that element. For example, instead of 2, if I give like remove 4, because there is only one occurrence of 4. Okay, so now see, it has removed 4. So these are some of the basic functions which we are going to use, like in each and every problem, one or more of them. Okay, so just make a note of it and just have a practice of it, what each of these mean. Okay, so now I will comment it out this also, and we will go back to our problem statement. This is our problem which we were solving, right? Okay, so if you remember, like I said, we have a list and we want to write a code to find all duplicate. Okay, now let me clear this. Okay, so what we were doing, we were using a for loop to iterate over each element. Okay, and we have seen that we have removed break because it was coming out of it after printing this, but now we want all duplicates, like 2 is there, 3 is there as an duplicate. Okay, so what we have done, we have declared an empty list and we want to store each and every duplicate into this list. Okay, so for that, what we have done, we have done this as dot count of each element. If it is greater than 1, then print we found the duplicate, and maybe we don't need to print this element, print this statement for each element. We'll just print it at the end. Okay, and I will just append this element at the bottom, at the end, like we have seen above. What append does, append the element at the end of the list. Okay, so each and every element will get added at the end. Now, if it is done, I loop end instead of duplicate elements, and we will print this to list. Let's see what happened. See, now we have found the duplicate 2233, right? Our code has worked perfectly. 2233, it has given us the duplicates, but it does not make sense, it is giving 2233. Now we want to modify our code a little more and we just want a single element. For example, 2 is twice in my list, so I just want one occurrence of 2, one occurrence of 3 here in my duplicate list. So we can modify this statement as to write a code to find all duplicates in list L and print duplicate list with single occurrence of duplicated element. Okay, so now how my code is working. For example, there are multiple occurrences of 3, like suppose there are 1,000 times 3 is repeated. What it is doing, it is giving me list with each. It is not making any sense because we just want a single occurrence of my duplicated element. Okay, so what we can do, we can modify our code. How? Now this is our list, we will have this also we will have, but once my element is appended to this list, the second time when it come and it find it multiple times, it should not go into my list again. Okay, so before appending, what we can do, we can add one more if statement. Okay, if my add in, if it is in dupe, if it is not in dupe, okay, if it is not in dupe, then only go ahead and append it. Otherwise, if it is already present in dupe, then do not do anything. Okay, now if I run my code, see, magic, right? But like I said, there will be a multiple ways or multiple other optimized way to write this logic, and this logic is not optimized. Now we have written a code, we have evolved that code for a better solution to come to this solution, but Okay, so we will go ahead and see one more problem based on this list, at least easy level problem. Okay, now like I said, you have to go to LeetCode and make an account so that you can start practicing problem. Okay, so we can see two sum problem is there. It is an easy level problem, and also we can see input is a list and output is also a list. So this is what we have read in this lecture. Okay, so now coming back to question. So given an array of integer, okay, array of integer, that is a list of integer, here nums, okay, we can see, and then a target which is also integer, right? Target is equal to 9, 9 is integer. Return indices of the two numbers such that they add up to the target. So basically what we have to do, we have to return the index of two elements which will result in target. For example, if we see here 2 plus 7 is equal to 9, that is equal to target. So we have to return the index of 2 or 7. So 2 is 0th index, 7 is 1 index. So my output will become 0, comma 1, that is the list. Okay. Similarly, if we see here, target is 6. So 6 will result using 4 plus 2. So 2 is my first index and 4 is my second index. Okay, so we have to return the index of two elements, sum of which will equal to the given target. Okay, now there are more other informations are given which will help you to optimize your code, which we are not going to read, or I'm not going to explain that now because we are at very basic level, and I just want to make you understand like how to approach the problem and how to start at least writing the code in Python. And once we will read about the basic concept, we will solve easy level one or two problem based on each topic, and I will start getting some comment in the comment box. Okay, we are good to go ahead with the medium level, or go into some of the algorithms. Then we will come back to these problems again and try to solve and optimize these problems. Okay, so now for now, because we just know string and list, using these two we cannot optimize our code, because to optimize most of the code, dictionary, hash maps, those kind of structure is required. For now we don't have ready it yet, so we will not go into the optimization of it. Okay, just know how to understand how to approach the problem and how to start coding. Okay, so like I said, आपको जाना है लीड कोड पे and you have to make an account and start solving problem. Just watching the video is not going to help you. Okay, so देखो how we have solved this problem. This is not the optimized code at all. There can be more optimized code for this problem, but just to write a simple logic using the functions which we have read, using the strings, using the list, only these three things we are going to solve this problem. Okay, so now first of all, there is a definition of function. We have seen in lecture 2 how to write or define, call or declare a function. Okay, so to define a function, we know that def function is required. So def is the definition of function we are doing here. Okay, so my function name is toSum. Nums is list, which is the input of integer, right? And then target, which is also integer, right? And then we are returning list, which is of integer, right? Because indexes can never be in other data type, it will always going to be an integer. So my return type is list, and that is a list of integer basically. Okay, so how we have started solving the problem? For example, I have declared one empty list like we have seen in our previous example when we were solving the count problem, finding the duplicate problem. Okay, so I have declared one list, empty list. Okay, this is how we declare the empty list. Then I am using for loop to iterate over each and every element of my input. That is, for example, for this one 2, 7, 11, 15. Okay, now what is range function? Range len of num, what is it? So if I come back here, okay, let me just mark all these as comment so that I can explain what is range. So as we have seen, what is lane? See, range, lane of L. What is it? It is 16. Make it like simple for us. Oh, I don't want to modify it. Okay, so it is 16. Okay, so now if I print this, what I'm getting 16. The length of L is 16. Now we want to see range. What is range? So for example, I'm declaring another range of lane of L. Okay, I will convert it to list and then we will see what happens. Now I want to print L. So see 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What happened? So basically what range does, range is a function which takes an input, an integer input, and based on that input you can give like one input or two input. It will start from 0, or if you give like the start index or end index, based on that it will generate you a list of integer. Okay, so this is what range does. Okay, now if I come back here, similarly I am generating a list of elements. Okay, starting from 0 to till the length of my input. Okay, now for example what I do, I want to print it, right? For example, let me just comment everything. I want to print, just print I, just print I here. Okay, so what will happen here? An indentation, just a second. Okay, okay. See, now my standard output 0, 1, 2, 3. Why? Because my list in this case here 1, 2, 3, 4, and starting from 0, 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3. So it has printed that I. So I'm just generating a range of list of integer starting from 0th index to length of my num. Okay, so this is how print is working. Now if I want also to print, for this I want to print what is there in my list for this particular I. Okay, let me run it. See, now it is saying 0th position 2 is there, first position 1 is there, second position 11 is there, third position 15 is there. So this is telling me the position. It is also keeping the count and giving me the index of each element of my nums. Okay, so this is what the purpose of the range. I hope you have understood. If you have not, then you can free to put a comment in the comment box that you have not understood and I need to explain it more. Okay, so yeah, now going ahead, we have seen that this is what we have done here in this for statement, and then after that I'm again declaring current, basically one variable which is equal to my target minus nums of I. Nums of I, we have seen that for each index it will give me the element of that index in nums. Okay, so target minus nums. For example, 2 is coming for first iteration, so my I is 0 and my target is 9 and my nums of 0 is 2, because at 0th position in nums second there 2 element is there, like 2 integer is there, integer 2 is there basically. So that will become my target is 9 minus 2. What is the variable I am getting here? 7. Let me print it. Okay, what I will do, I will just comment it out everything. See, each time what we will get? See, 7 I am getting, 9 minus 2, 7. 9 minus 7, 2. 9 minus 11, minus 2. 9 minus 15, minus 6. Okay, you got it? What current is doing? It is just giving me the target minus my element of nums one by one. Okay, and then after that I'm checking if that current, for example, for the first one, what we have got, for the first one we have got 7, like 9 minus 0th position 2 is equal to 7. And what I'm doing now, I'm checking if 7 is present in my L, an empty list which I have declared, if it is present there. For the first iteration, no, my list is empty. So what will happen? The 7, the current element which is 7. So what will happen basically? So I'm now, after that, I'm taking the index. Like I said, how to get the index of any element. So now what I'm trying to do, I'm using this nums dot index which we have seen in our previous, when we were looking at the problems or the function, built-in functions of list. We have seen that how to take the index of any element. For example, my is an element in this list L2, and we wanted to know the index of that element in my list L2. So similarly, what we are doing here, we are trying to find the index of current variable, which is 7 for me in my nums list. Okay, so now what it will give me, it will give me, yes, for example here, first it will come here, and what it will do, it will see yes, 7 is present in nums obviously, and now the index is 1. And then if my index is not equal to I, okay, so now my, what is my I now? My I is 0. Okay, and my index is coming as 1. It is not equal. Then that means that current element exists in my nums. The nums of I is there, and it is giving a sum of 9. Okay, so that's why I'm returning I, or index of it. And then after that, what I'm doing, I'm just like appending nums of I in my L. Okay, so this is what I am doing here, like, because for example, if something is not present in my L, it will go there and it will get like added there, and this is for optimization purpose. Okay, because I just do not want to go ahead and read and go through every time with my input, because my input can be very large. So just I'm declaring like, a list another, and I'm just checking if the target minus num of my that index element is equal to current, and if that is present in L, then I am finding the index of that, and I'm checking index is not equal to my index, like which is index going for the iteration, and then if it is not, then I'm returning. Okay, so this is how it works basically. All the test cases has passed and runtime is 0 okay, for this, at least for these inputs. Okay, so there will be multiple ways to optimize this code, but this can be one way to write this code, and again there can be multiple ways to approach this problem and write a code for this. So I would suggest you guys to create account in the LeetCode and go ahead and first go through this code. If you don't understand anything, then you can try to make your own basic logic also, and you can go through the Google and everywhere, chat GPT, you will get multiple ways to write this code. So yeah, start coding. I would say LeetCode account is must. Make it and start practicing, because just looking at this and me explaining and you just sitting at the other side and looking at it is not going to help you. You have to start solving, you have to start writing code, building your own logic, building your own knowledge. Okay, so that's all for the day. I will share all these things like this code, the problem statement, and whatever we have solved in the comment box in our description. Okay,
Thank you guys for watching my videos. If you like the videos, please like, subscribe and share, because it gives me motivation and I will keep creating like this kind of videos.
And if you think that I have missed something, some of the topic I have missed, and you think that some of the topics needs more explanation, a separate video, then go ahead, put it in the comment box. I regularly monitor the comment box, and if I think that more demands are coming to make a separate video on certain topic, I will be more than happy to create that video. Yeah, so that's all from my side. Thank you and keep watching. I hope that this will help you to build your career. Yeah, so from that, if you want, like, guidance to build your career in a data engineering, then feel free to connect with me over TopMate. I will be leaving my link of TopMate in the description. You can connect with me over TopMate. Suppose if you are a fresher and you are in your last year of college, and if you are already have like working somewhere and you want to change your domain to data engineering, or maybe if you are working already in data engineering and want to switch to a better company, then please go ahead and connect with me over the TopMate. I will be there to guide you, like how you can switch a job from one role to another, how you can switch from your current company to better company, like what are the tools and technology you need to focus on, what are the methods and what are the ways you have to, like, start preparing. So yeah, because I have total 8 years of experience in this domain, data engineering domain, and I have like enough experience. I have switched multiple jobs, so I know like how to prepare for interviews and what are the things you have to focus on so that you can crack a good company. So yeah, feel free to connect with me over the TopMate, and then we will discuss more about it. And if you want also to like review your resume, then you can also connect with me over TopMate. Like I said, I will available over there, and we can connect over there to talk about it and discuss about it.
Thank you everyone for watching the video. अगर आपको वीडियो पसंद आया हो तो do like, share and subscribe.